And welcome. We are back for our Sunday night recap, and they've been so sad and so sullen and so miserable and so upsetting until today. And the future is the present. The New York Football Giants beat one of the better teams in the entire NFL and lead from beginning to end. Now, I'm not allowed to have nice things, so I had to watch the Mets get shut out at the hands of the Marlins today and miss out on the postseason. And I had to watch the most dynamic playmaker on the Giants offense go up what looked like a harmless play and tear his ACL and go out for the season. At least that's the early reports. And that's upsetting, and it stinks, and it feels like it takes a little bit of the enjoyment away from the win. But here's the thing. You have your quarterback. Like you don't, even if you're a Jackson Dart hater. Now, are there things that he has to get better at and better with? Absolutely. Like kind of read the pocket a little bit better, but he made some plays today, guys. And the numbers were not insane. Like I went over it on Friday and I said the numbers, and we'll bring them up and kind of discuss them as we go through this edition of Dave Rothenberg's Giants Obsession. By the way, I want to let you know, we are on Spotify at Dave Rothenberg's Giants Obsession. We're on Instagram and TikTok at DR Giants Obsession, and we're on Twitter at DRNYGO. And here's the thing. We're on YouTube. You know that's how you're watching right now. And when we get to 1,000, so we have a party, and we're going to give away a signed Mini Giants helmet, and we're very close. We're at last check, we're at 985. So maybe during this bevy of a show, we can get over the 1,000 mark, and then tomorrow we can pick the winner for the Giants, or Wednesday, or whatever. Point is, if you're a Giants fan right now, you have to be excited. You have to be. When was the Giants were 7-15 on third downs? They got the kick after they stopped the Chargers, and they went 90 yards in his first ever drive. The offense looked completely different. In fact, when Russell Wilson came into the game, it was awful. Right now, I know it's just for a brief moment, but when he came into the game, it was absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. So here we are, guys. I mean, it was Washington. Offense looked brutal, lost the game. Dallas, offense looked great, lost the game. But everyone looks great against the Dallas defense. And then last week, offense against the Chiefs. And by the way, the Chiefs seem to be back after throttling the Ravens earlier today. But last week, offense, it was comical. It was embarrassing. Scatterboo and Dart are that's the duo, okay? Scatterboo and Dart. And you're going to miss Neighbors terribly. And it's a massive loss, and it really is crushing because he was the one dynamic playmaker. But I will say this, and I stand by this, and you'll hear it, and you'll be like, come on, you're out of your mind. I actually think if you said to me you can have a healthy, capable Andrew Thomas or Malik Neighbors, I believe I would take Andrew Thomas. And that's not like Monday morning quarterback. I really believe that. I believe he is so important to this offense, especially to the quarterback. Now, the thing I liked about Dart is you saw him, you watched him, and he had such a pocket presence, even when there was pressure on him. Like there was a couple plays where there was pressure all over him, and he kind of threw it at the feet of the wide receiver or the tight end. That's big-time stuff. The read option is tremendous. Does it worry me that he's going to take massive hits throughout his NFL career? He's got to learn. Like that, there was 2 plays where you just go down, take a knee. You don't want live to see another day, man. You don't want to get obliterated. I mean, the one play where I think the Giants held on the play and he got free and he ran down the left side and he got smashed down and it took him a minute to get up. You can't have that. These guys, this is not SEC football. And SEC football is the highest level of collegiate football, I guess, with the Big Ten, but it's the highest level of collegiate football. But you go from here way up to the physicality and the aggression and just the hitting and the sheer force that the NFL presents. So he's going to have to learn that. But he appears, and it's one game, and you can't get insane, but don't you? I mean, am I wrong? Don't you feel like clearly you saw the quarterback for the next 10, 12 years with the Giants? He looked terrific. And this was not against some slop defense. This is against one of the better defenses in the entire NFL. This defense is really, really good, and the Giants move the ball effectively. And again, they didn't ask Dart, nor did they need Dart to do a ton today. But what they asked him and needed him to do, he did at a very high level. All right, he's got a tremendous pocket presence. And it's funny, they were talking about it during the game that he throws from weird angles and up and down and side and kind of doesn't put enough on the ball sometimes. And they're like, why would he practice that in warmups? Because that's what he does in the games. Like, he is kind of a magician with the way he bends and throws and different angles to football. And he looked great. He looked absolutely great. And you saw the excitement from Brian Daboll on the sideline, just like, oh, my God, finally my prayers are answered. I would tell you this, and I think you would have to agree. If Russell Wilson was the quarterback today, we're doing a post-mortem of an 0-4 football team right now. But we're not, because they have the quarterback. And what stinks is, and this is awful, and you can't make light of how important this is that you have the quarterback and now you don't have the alpha receiver, which is a real shame. Because, again, this is not about wins and losses. This is about moving in the right direction. And I thought you'd see this chemistry between Dart and Neighbors throughout the season. So whether it meant 4 wins or 5 wins or 6 wins or 7 wins, whatever it meant, I thought that they would go into next year. And because I'm an idiot, I'm watching the game and I'm just thinking to myself, they're going to win 5 games. But next season, like this offseason, they're going to load them up with a second receiver and fix the offensive line. And Scadaboo's a stud. And that all just goes out the wayside. But let's not lose sight of the fact that the Giants beat the Chargers, please. And that's a stop the press story. The Giants, one of the have-nots in the NFL, beat the Chargers, and with a great coach and a great quarterback. And I understand that Rashawn Slater's out for the year, and I know that Joe Alt left that game early. But you know what? Welcome to the NFL. All right, Giants deal with the same crap. Every team deals with enduring injuries. Look at the Chiefs. They don't have Xavier Worthy for a couple of weeks, right? After he gets hurt week 1. They don't have Rashee Rice. Like, dude, welcome to the NFL, where guys are constantly injured, and it's a next man up mentality. Nobody felt bad for the Giants when they had to deal with no Andrew Thomas, right? I didn't hear any. I didn't get any greeting cards of, oh man, that was really rough. No Andrew Thomas. You know what? Too bad. James Hudson was the laughing stock. Well, you know what? It's much more functional now. And what I liked about Jackson Dart as well, and again, he's got to figure out how to take less punishment during the course of a game, but he has this pocket presence, which is really second to, I don't want to say second to none. That feels a bit extreme, but it's for a kid making his first ever NFL start. It was elite. And there's nothing wrong with taking a sack. Like, I don't remember once that the ball was thrown into real enemy territory and was almost picked off. I don't remember that at all. So if you're a fan of the Giants, it stinks that Neighbors is hurt. Abdul Carter had 9 pressures. We'll get into that later on during the course of this mini episode. We'll come back tomorrow and kind of analyze that as well. Thibodeau was great. Burns was great. Carter was great. And I'll hear it. You'll hear a lot of, well, it was the backup offensive line. They didn't have Joe Alt. They didn't have Rashawn Slater. Nobody cares. Honestly, nobody cares. All right. So Nico and Steve, do me the favor and hop on. Now, Steve, I know this must pain you because you're a miserable, sullen Jets fan. But Nico, you got like a pig in you know what this morning, right? I mean, come on, look at this team right now, huh? A win.
Mute mic. Your computer mic.
Nico.
Yes.
When I'm talking to you, it would be great if you would respond.
Sorry, he was. I heard the.
There was an echo.
There was an echo.
And I know why.
Yeah.
You want me to let you in on why?
Why?
Because Steve doesn't want us to be happy.
No.
Steve wants us to be miserable,
right.
and he takes great enjoyment in misery with the Giants.
You know, my
because
dad
he's a Jets
said
fan, and
today,
all he knows is misery. So today, as I walked in, I saw him working on like plugs and switches to make sure we didn't have audio. But sorry, Steve, it's not going to work. Nico, let's talk. What questions? What comments?
We
do
are
we have?
Winners today.
Yeah,
we are winners today because of this man.
yeah,
Partially.
yeah.
We'll get.
Is that a Thibodeau jersey?
Absolutely.
Well, I wouldn't say because of that man, but
Partially.
Yes, yeah, certainly he was terrific. He contributed a
absolutely.
lot. I'll tell you what, I don't know if I'll have it for when we do the show tomorrow, but I'm telling you, Wednesday show, I'm going to be doing Deck That in my Jackson Dart jersey.
I'm so excited.
Deck That. You want to buy it for me?
Maybe.
Okay, that would be great. I would appreciate that. So what questions and comments do we have? Let's get to Let's get to the people.
Absolutely.
Because
We gotta-
there's a lot of people following right now, aren't there?
Yeah, there is a lot of people
there's a lot
following
of
right now.
comments.
We are 6 subscribers away from hitting our 1,000 goal.
We're 994.
994 right now. So if you're
Please.
watching this right now, please hit the subscribe button. We're almost there.
Please.
With this
Like us too.
like
That's
us too.
important. You can like
Absolutely.
us, subscribe to us, all of it. All right, so give me the questions and comments. Let me hear what people
We
are
have
saying.
one coming in from 89 Lonnie. Neighbors being out really sucks, but if
Yeah.
Dark can show us he is him without Neighbors, that is really something. Right, Dave and Nico?
I like how they refer to Dave and Nico and Steve. You're like an afterthought. You're
Spelled my
That's
name.
fine, man.
They spelled my name
Yeah.
wrong, so
They would
Yeah, but
spell
how
my
would they
name
know?
right. If
I don't
anyone
blame
They
them for
won't.
that. They don't know that.
thank you. Lonnie.
Listen, Neighbors is a massive loss. I'm not going to deny it. It's a massive loss. But here's the thing: with a quarterback that's so athletic and so mobile and can buy his time, it's going to be a massive loss. But I think between Wandale Robinson and Darius Slayton and Hyatt's going to have to do something. You saw he's throwing the ball to Theo Johnson and Scadaboo. Is it ideal? No, it's not. I'm not going to make light of the fact that you lost one of the most dynamic playmakers in the entire NFL. But it would be, I will say this, it would be a worse loss if Russell Wilson is the quarterback than having Jackson Dart as the quarterback, just because he can do things that Russell Wilson cannot do. So, yeah, good question. Good comment.
We have another great question coming in, but first I would like to do something.
What? Do we get 1,000? Are we over? We got there?
We got to
Yes.
1,000.
Let's go.
We officially have 1,000 subscribers. Thank you everyone for subscribing just now.
Do you understand
Thank
the
you,
power
guys.
that we have here?
We have immense
We
power.
have gotten to 1,000 subscribers in a 4-week period.
Yep.
You know what? It goes to show you, the two of you who are doing all the work behind the scenes. I come in here. I walked in. What time did we start? 7:30. I walked in at 7:26. And I just hop on and I do what I do. But you guys are here for what time did you get here today?
5:30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So you're here
5:15 I
2+
got.
hours. And I'm going to be out here at 8:01. And you guys are going to be here till what, 9 or 10 o'clock tonight?
Yeah, 9:30.
Yeah.
Hopefully
so
not.
it's because of you guys that we get to
Hopefully not
1,000.
10.
We do all the things we're doing. But what else do you have as far as questioning
Absolutely.
comments?
This is really important as a Giant fan. I mean, this has got to be fixed. Scoop Espo says, will they ever get rid of the turf at MetLife?
They play too much football there to get rid of the turf. I mean, the Jets play 8 or 9 games. The Giants play 8 or 9 games. There's college football games that are played there. No, remember they tried that, like, you guys probably don't even remember the trays of grass back in the day. It was a disaster. They have not perfected yet just having grass, having trays of it, and if something goes south, being able to take that tray out and put another tray in. So maybe with the new stadium, when we get there down the road, we'll be able to do that. But no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen for some time. So this is what it is. Well, welcome to Giant Stadium, because you're the Giants, you deal with this. You're the opposition, you deal with this. You're the Jets, you deal with this. This is what it's going to be. It's not going to change.
Yep, I agree. We have another question coming in from ML True Crime. Dayball better tell Jackson to stop taking these hits.
I agree completely. It's not okay. These are massive hits. He's not going to make, you can't take hits like that in the NFL and make it through. What is he? They're 14 games. That's what they're going to ask him to play. It's not going to. You saw he was favoring his hamstring in the first half today.
Yeah.
So you can't do it. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. You're right. Here's what the thing is. He's going to take punishment. He's going to realize I can't take punishment like that and continue to be a capable quarterback in this league. So he's going to figure it out. He's a smart kid. There was one play that he made, and the Giants were at their own 2. And I think he had fumbled on the play before, and Andrew Thomas jumped on it. It was 3rd and 12 from the 2, and he drops back in his end zone, and he steps forward up in the pocket to like the edge of the goal line or the 1-yard line, and he's motioning with his hand for his receiver to run in a different direction. That's what you expect to see from a 10-year veteran quarterback in this league, not for a guy making his first ever start. I'm telling you, and I've been wrong plenty of times, and I'll be wrong plenty of times in the future, but I'm probably right more than I'm wrong. He's got it. Whatever it is that you look for in a young player, he's got it. So does it stink that Neighbors is out? Yes. Does it stink that the Mets soiled themselves and finished 4 games over 500 and didn't make the postseason? Yes. But celebrate. You know what, Steve, you're a bad guy, but celebrate.
I didn't even
little-
cheer.
So
I'm a
happy.
diehard Yankee fan. I didn't even cheer.
Yeah, the Yankees
yeah.
didn't win the division
Brownie
either, buddy.
points, dude.
So
Get out of here.
celebrate the little wins, and this is not even a little win. This is a legitimate win. Do we have any more?
Absolutely. I think that's it for right now.
That's it for right now.
Oh,
All right, if you want to get
have one
involved,
more. We have one
there's
more.
more?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just let the people know. You can like us on this YouTube channel, subscribe to us, and are we 2,000 yet, or we didn't hit 2,000?
We didn't hit 2,000 yet.
Okay.
No.
But you can subscribe to us.
Absolutely. If you're not
Dave,
subscribed already, please subscribe.
And again, one of the people that has subscribed in the first 1,000 is going to win a signed mini Giants helmet this week. So that's exciting. What other questions and comments do you have?
So we have a comment from Anthony Kudo, if I pronounce your name, sorry. Brian Burns will be top 3 DN by the end of the year.
It's within reason. I mean, listen, Myles Garrett is 1, and it's not close. Hendrickson is really good. Hutchinson is really good. I don't need to sit here and quantify where Brian Burns is. I will just sit here and tell you that Brian Burns is a special player. And whether it's 3 or 5 or 7 or 9, he's definitively a really special player. What else you got?
We have a comment from James Reese. Are we committed to the run now? Ground game was good.
Well, the ground game is going to be better when there's more things you can do off of it, right? When the quarterback tucking it and running on his own is an option, then they have to stay more honest. Now, Neighbors, again, it's a massive loss, but when the quarterback rolling out of the pocket and hitting the tight end or a wide receiver downfield, that's another attractive option. So just the fact that there's more things you can do is going to make Scatterboo and even Singletary ran the ball, I thought, effectively today. Like the Giants ran the ball I have the stats in front of me. Scatterboo ran 25 for 79. So it's not a great average, 3.2. And by the way, man, he runs. I don't know that there's a running back in the NFL that runs harder than Cam Scatterboo. And this is sincere. I'm not even kidding with you. Like, I worry for him as a 35-year-old guy. I'm not even, Nico, like you're laughing. I'm not even kidding.
I know.
People are not meant to run into that continuously, but he goes for 25 for 79, had a long as 16. Dart, who's a real presence running the football, goes 10 for 54. And Devin Singletary goes 7 for 28. The Giants ran for 161 yards, guys. 161 yards. That is a definition for success in this league. And again, Dart was really, really good, but he didn't have to throw the ball a ton. They only threw the ball 20 times. That's it. And I think when I give you my prediction, I don't know if you guys have a graphic or a stat or have it written down of what I had said. I had said something very similar to this. I think I said like 14 of 26 for a $154 and a touchdown. And he was 13 of 20 for a $111 and a touchdown. So, and I said, I think he's going to run for like 38 or 36 yards. And I was not far off with that either. Nick, are you throwing up? Why are you bending down like that?
I'm trying to find the graphic on the computer.
And I think he ran for 54, but I think I'd said like 36 or 38. So he was right, because to think that he's going to throw for 250 or 300 is just insane. But he played well. And Theo Johnson had a couple of catches. And Darius Slayton, who's going to now have to be the guy, played fairly well. 3 for 44. Neighbors, again, this sad that he's now done for the season. It looks like 2 for 20. Theo Johnson had 3 for 17. Wandale had 3 for 14. Bellinger had 1 for 13. You can bring those stats back up because I want to get to them, my predictions. And Scatterboo had 2 for 11. So they're going to have to mix it up now. I said Giants offense will be way more aggressive. I think it was. Scatterboo will have 17 plus touches. He did. And how about this one? How good is that? I mean,
as soon as it happened, I thought about you.
How good is that?
It's pretty
First
good.
team to score 20 wins. Giants scored 21.
You did use it last week too, but it's fine.
Shut your mouth. Really?
I wasn't going to say it.
I'm sitting. Look at me. I have a Swami headgear on. We're waxing poetic about my greatness. The Giants win a game. You're excited about the quarterback. And all I have to hear from you is, well, you used the same stat last week. So what does that mean then?
It means
that was it accurate last week?
No.
What do you mean no?
Oh wait, didn't we get to 21st?
No, we got 9 points last week. You jackass. The Giants gave up 22. So you may say I used the same thing last week as well. But it was accurate as well last week.
Did you use it 3 weeks in a row?
I don't know what I used. No, I don't think so. No,
you might be right.
I didn't use it when they played the Cowboys. No, I definitively did not. All right, so that's the end of that. Here's what I liked. Okay, let's bring the graphic in. And what they can build on. as far as the Giants are concerned. What did I like? I thought the defense was really good. Listen, Hampton had the big play. Quentin Johnson had the big play. Deonte Banks he's not a very good football player. But overall, I thought the defense created havoc. And that's what we've been looking for from what we thought was going to be a special pass rush. Abdul Carter did not have a sack. Nine pressures. There's a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And you could see that Justin Herbert was uncomfortable for the majority of this football game. 9 pressures, big-time stuff from Abdul Carter. This was by far, and there was one play that he beat the tackle to the inside. He was clearly held around the throat. They didn't call anything, but this was his best game. He was special today. Again, what's the theme? The front 4. Dexter Lawrence, the interception, brings it back to the 2. I have a stat for you. The guys have all of these stats and all these nuggets and all this stuff. I got one for you. Dexter Lawrence on that interception return reached a max miles per hour of a shade over 17 miles per hour. How about that for a stat for you? Brian Burns was excellent in this game. He had 6 pressures. He had a sack. Kayvon Thibodeau. And I can't tell you how many times I've been asked the question, Kayvon Thibodeau, why wouldn't you trade him? You get a 3rd-round pick for him because you have him this year. You picked up the option. You're going to have him next year. And why would you move on from a guy who's a really good player? At some point down the road, you're going to have to either pay him or trade him, but not now. So why would you trade him now? He makes you better now, and include him for the rest of this season. You have him for the first part of next season. And if you get to next season and you get to the trade deadline and you're out of it and you're not going to re-sign him, you trade him then. But everyone is so quick to make this change. It's just silly. It really is. The defense was really good today. And again, they're not a perfect defense. They have flaws, but who's a really good player, and he's not going to be on our graphics. He's not Abdul Carter. It's not Brian Burns. It's not Kayvon Thibodeau. It's not Dexter Lawrence. It's not a sexy player. Who's a really, really good football player? Drew Phillips. He's a second-year corner out of Kentucky. He's a really good football player. He's a sure tackler. He was a good tackler 2 weeks ago against Dallas and CeeDee Lamb. If he lines you up, he's gonna tackle you. He's a good corner. He's basically the opposite of what Deonte Banks is. There was one play, I don't know if you remember it. It was a 3rd and I think 18 for the Chargers, and Justin Herbert tucked it and run. And instead of keeping outside contain and flushing Justin Herbert back to the inside, Deonte Banks crashed inside, let Herbert go to the outside. He picked up 19 plus on a 3rd and 18 scramble, and they got the first down. So this was not a game without flaw, guys. The Giants had their fair share of missteps and mistakes and penalties yet again. 8 penalties for 43 yards for the Giants. Now, Chargers, it was even worse. Chargers were Giants territory. They were 14 for 107. But 8 penalties is a lot of penalties. And again, some were declined on top of that. There were a couple of times the Giants had committed multiple penalties on the same play. So 8 for 43. You say 43 yards is not terrible, and it's not terrible, but 8 for 43 is what was accepted against you in the game. And that, there's still flaws and there's still mistakes that they make. And the problem is they're just not good enough to continue to make these mistakes. And I don't want to hear tomorrow, Chargers traveling west to east. Chargers had a rough game last week against Denver. I don't care. All right. I'm not in the excuse business. I'm in the who won the game and had your quarterback look business. And the Giants won the game and the quarterback looked darn good. That's what happened. You can't miss tackles like you continue to. The secondary has to be better. I've been underwhelmed with the Debo. Drew Phillips, like I mentioned, is a really good special kind of player. There's cleaning up to do, but overall, I thought they played well. They allowed 18 points. You really only had the one game where week 1 was 21. Week 2 was out of control, went to overtime. What do you allow? 40 or 37, whatever it was. Week 3 was 22, and week 4 is 18. So even if you're allowing yardage and teams to move, at least you're not allowing that to turn into, 30, 35 points, because teams score 30 points. Look at the Ravens. That was everyone's darling. Well, I got news for you. And listen, the Ravens are head and shoulders better than the Giants are. Ravens are sitting here at 1-3, and the Giants are also sitting here at 1-3. But Washington lost today, and nobody cares that Jaden Daniels didn't play. Doesn't matter. What matters is your record. And right now, the Giants, it's a win. And you have another winnable game next week, and the neighbors thing stinks, and it really deflates the excitement. But overall, I think you have to feel pretty darn good about this football team today. Leo G. Hey, Dave. He says, yo, Dave, but I'm not a yo kind of guy. Hey, Dave, how many games become more winnable to you now after what you saw today? I think they can win 5 games. I mean, right? I mean, could they beat the Bears? Sure. Could they? Not that they will. Could they beat the Raiders? Sure. Could they beat the Niners? I don't think the Niners are anything special. Sure. Could they beat the Saints? You got to think the Giants are going to be favored in that game next Sunday against the Saints. I mean, and then you have other games, but Cowboys, could they beat the Cowboys? Yeah, why not? Could they beat Washington? Yeah, absolutely. So I don't expect this to be a 7-win team, but I think there's some potential wins. This is a big win. This is a big win because you should have won game 2. And I think I'll say this, if Jackson Dart started all 4 games, and this idea that they rushed him and it was way too early, and what are they doing? No. In fact, they should have probably started him from the jump. I don't know why or how or when or where. There are certain players that have it, right? You've watched football for a long time. I've watched football for a long time. There's Daniel Jones, as good as he's playing with the Colts, who lost today and they go to 3-1, and Jones was fine today. Daniel Jones just, he didn't have this moxie. He didn't have this energy. Dart does. Is it a coincidence that the defense played lights out and with fire in this game today, and they didn't really look like this at any point this season? I don't know. Maybe it is, but it doesn't feel like it. So we're 4 weeks in. Nico, real quickly, because I want to wrap and go home for the night game, and I know everyone else wants to kind of have their dinner quickly and get into the night game as well. Any other questions, any other comments, any other things that we have to hear from the mass people?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Let's see. So we have a comment from Andrew Manfredi. How real is the defensive effort you see today, or is it just a product of the Chargers losing Joe Alt?
I mean, you benefited off of Joe Alt going down with the ankle, absolutely. But the Giants are going to go as far as, I think, the quarterbacks and play calling. No more Malik Neighbors, unfortunately, and what they can do in turning over the opposition. They got 2 big turnovers today, right? That Drew Phillips turnover was massive and brought it down to like the 3-yard line. Now, you'd like to see the red zone offense put touchdowns on the board, but it's a work in progress. And I'd like to see Jackson Dart do some RPO and keep the football and throw the football off of that as he rolls out. But this is the beginning of hopefully what's going to be a very long relationship between this quarterback and this team. And I think you have to be really pleased at what you saw earlier today. You got anything else?
Yeah, I do.
There's a lot of people involved in this tonight, huh?
Yeah, we got a lot of comments. If you have any more comments, please drop them below. But this is a little. Carlos Espinal says, "Pump the brakes, Dave. What were your Giants fans saying after Daniel Jones's first game?"
Yeah, listen, Jones looked great against the Bucs. I remember that. They won that game down in Tampa. He was hitting Darius Slayton with bombs. So it's a fair point. But so if I can't have excitement today, and I would question whether he's a fan or not of the Giants. Like maybe he sneaks into this Dave Rothenberg's Giants obsession room and he's roots for another team. But what am I supposed to do? Come on tonight after they win their first game of the season and their first, I guess they were 3-17 in the last 20 games. What do you want me to do? Come on tonight and be like, Dart sucks. Neighbors is out. They had 8 penalties. And no, I'm going to have optimism. I'm going to have excitement. That's what a fan does. That's what a fan is. So let me recap. Where are we, Nico? Do we have a number? Over 1,000?
1,020 right now.
1,020. You guys are doing a great job. Follow us, Spotify, Dave Rothenberg's Giants Obsession. Social media, Instagram, TikTok, DR Giants Obsession. Twitter, DRNYGO. And continue to like us and subscribe. And you guys subscribing is doing great. We're well now over 1,000. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, recap this, get definitive word about, unfortunately, Malik Neighbors. We'll do it all over, and this will be a positive week because the Giants gave you something to feel decent about. Go Packers tonight. Be back at 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow with another episode, another edition, a happy edition of Dave Rothenberg's Giants Obsession.